genius of rock and roll. Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me today. Well, it's Thursday. We got one more day of the week, and then it's the weekend. Are you guys ready? Have you guys been doing lots of safe sinning and blaspheming this week? I have been covered up, just absolutely covered up with blaspheming and sinning. It never gets old around here. Good morning, everyone. Ryan is here with me. Let me go here. Boop. Ryan is here with me this morning. We're going to do stuff and talk about things, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're atheists, and if you haven't tried atheism, you should at least give it a try. I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you are possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
All right, and we're back. I don't know what happened there. Interesting. I'll have to fix that. Well, let's go back to here and bring on Ryan. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey, nothing to see here, guys.
Pedaling as fast as you can. Yes.
Doing all right. How you doing this morning, Chris?
Doing pretty good. I'm skittering in like that. That's the way. That's the way. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Rainbow Ash. Ungodly morning, friends. Working and lurking. Kelly is here. Kelly's got to bail and go do stuff. Jason Freer is here. Chris George is here posting stuff. Interesting. Yeah. That's a good point. Sununu, Trump will not control the Republican Party forever. I suspect his son may try to step up. Junior may try to step up. I know. He's the only one with the I want to say personality, outgoing enough that, I don't know, maybe.
He has no shame.
Yes. But he's got a little bit of enough personality that the maggots would follow him.
Right. He's happy to do it. He's happy to be their cohort. Yeah.
I mean, Eric has got the charisma of a peeled orange. He's so boring. Good morning for joining us. Hi from Muncie, New York. Wow. And Liz Allen. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have an interesting topic. I don't know if you noticed what the topic of the day was. Did you notice, Miss Ryan?
What day? This day?
This topic?
It is, I see it says, are we great again?
Are we great again yet? Yes. So it's more of a political topic than we normally we talk religion and we kind of bash politics as we go along. Today, I just figured, there's so much going on. We'd go ahead and discuss it and see what people think. And we've got the new chat. We're set up a little different so people can see us. I'd like to see how our people like the show now. So what do you think over there? I've got the Ollie fans above you, and I've got Daily Atheist Morning Show. It looks kind of more good.
No, it's this way. Okay, it's this way.
The chat. Yeah, it's over there.
I like it. It's great.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think I've got a mask around you, so whenever you speak up full, it'll have you cut out perfectly. No worries. Let's not talk tech talk. You'll just see whenever we get there. Lee Spanner, good morning. Lee Spanner says this country was never great again. Hashtag truth. I mean, there were those of us who were raised with this Captain America kind of notion about what the United States was without really kind of knowing what the United States was. But once you start learning our history and how we've undermined other democracies and how we've hurt so many people in so many different ways, we were founded on this notion that all men are created equal, unless you're black. and you're going to be a slave. Those kinds of things. Weren't they like 3/5 of a person? Is what
they didn't count. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I apologize. I don't remember. But yeah, they weren't seen as a whole human.
True. So our country, in that respect, has never been great. Isn't it? If I remember correctly, the Vietnam War was kicked off by by us. We started it. Some sort of ship attack that we faked, or some business like that, or there was an attack and we blew it out of proportion and it triggered off. There's a lot. We're not as good as people would like to think.
We have a good facade, and I think part of that now is crumbling. I hope like that Christian facade is starting to crumble, and people are seeing like, ooh, they're a little bit weird. Those zealots, those Christians. Yeah. I don't know, but I hope.
True enough. Interesting. Good morning, everyone. Let's see. Yeah, oh man. And now they're getting all tied up with the Christian nationalists and the Christian. Now, of course, you've heard about Donald Trump making it to where government employees can proselytize at work.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been saying this, folks. I've been saying this for a while. Donald Trump does not give a shit about Christians or any of that business. All he's doing is trying to gather his Christian power base. He's sucking up to them, giving them things they want in order for the power that he's going to ask for later.
Yep. Rounding up all the people who won't comply in ways that are pretty sneaky, by like things we've discussed before, like maybe having a morning prayer. And hey, I noticed that Chris ain't showing up to the morning prayer, but everybody else is falling in line. And, all of a sudden, Chris is fired from work.
Yeah. Or Chris is passed over for promotions, or Chris doesn't get raises, or, those sorts of things. And that goes a long ways. That's everything from there. And they're like, what's the big deal if they want to pray? If the coach wants to pray with the kids over like under the goalpost before the game, what's the big deal? Well, nothing. There's no big deal about that. But what about the kids who don't go over there and pray? Who sit on the bench? Do they sit on the bench the rest of the game too? Do they get the chance to play, or do they get ostracized because they're not Christian? You can't really say. It's like if it happens more than, it's going to happen. If that were happening, there would be Christian discrimination.
It's going to happen. Come on. First off, we're smart enough to be able to understand what they're trying to do. Like, we're not stupid. Maybe Christians can pretend that they're stupid. Maybe they can, but we see the obvious. And being like someone who's been on the outside, like, again, I keep saying like, but as a J-dub who's always been secluded and whatnot, this is just going to give them free range to bother people at work who are probably uncomfortable. But if they speak up, how is that going to be perceived? Right. Is that now an instance where that proselytizer has a right to say, oh, they discriminated against me when I was trying to shove Jesus down their throat?
That's right. Because just a little while ago, like a month ago, they came out with this anti-Christian bias task force and all these rules, essentially telling anybody in the government, if you're a Christian, that if somebody so much as bats an eye towards you, if you say, you know what, I want off for Christmas, and somebody in another cubicle goes, then it's up to you to report that person. Their wording was so, and now with this right here, so now they're inviting people to openly proselytize in their offices at work in the government. And like you said, what if somebody says no? Well, is that no? How is that taken? And then all of a sudden, if they do get a couple of them together in there who believe, and they're, now all of a sudden they can set little worship times and prayer times set aside and all this business, and you can't do anything about it. You can't comment about it or anything, because you'll be infringing on their Christian rights.
Yeah. They say as long as it doesn't impinge like their working, I don't know what that was, fuzzy hair. That, that's all, it's in those realms. But come on, again, it's very vague, and they word it vague so that way it can be taken advantage of and give more privilege to the Christians. That is all they are after, is being more privileged. They want to be the special group because they believe they're special people. I mean, that's what supremacy is, right?
Right. You know, here's an interesting point. Gary Hewitt, I think of Jesus more now than when I was a Christian.
Oh, sorry, Gary.
For so many of us. You know, I say this is true for many of us. When we were Christians, we didn't think about it all that often. You know, Sunday or whenever we're about to do something bad, if you're going to touch yourself, you know, Jesus all of a sudden comes into play. But most of the time, you didn't really. Now, whenever you're having you see it everywhere, and it's being enforced upon you, and all this business, and all of a sudden, it's really, at least in my case, and maybe in other people's cases, such as Gary, front of mind all the time. You know, not necessarily Jesus himself, but, you know, like the historicity of Jesus and all these things, because I have to be able to know these things so I can disassemble theists' arguments.
Yes. That's pretty much my goal, you know, as well.
Yep.
The better educated I am on it, the easier it is for me to disassemble their beliefs and just use logic against them most of the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. But of course, as we both know, you have to couple that with
it's
research.
hard when they got cognitive bias, when they won't.
Oh, ain't that the truth? Alan Conklin, I work where they have chaplains. I often wonder what would happen if I wore an atheist T-shirt to work. You know, what would happen?
Will that be considered offensive?
You know, a year ago, if you'd have gotten fired, you'd been able to bring a lawsuit against it for discrimination against you. And now I don't know. Now you're likely, like you mentioned in the thing, likely to lose your job, or at least lose privilege or lose promotions or opportunities just for wearing that shirt.
And this also isn't just about Christianity. It's about a specific brand of Christian, because there could be parties or whatnot that some Christians may not feel comfortable attending at work or gather, whatever. There might just be something that, even though you and I are Christians, I don't get down how you get down. But now, because I'm not the right kind of Christian, I'm not that extreme type of Christian, I'm still not going to be in the in group. So it will come down even further.
Very true. And of course, you're now the H word.
A heretic.
Heretic.
Yes, heretic, exactly.
Yes, now you're a heretic.
Like they do.
We have an interesting post from Wade O'Donohue. Good morning, Wade O'Donohue. Wade says, God loves us all. Some of us are just more godly than others. Like being rich, a lot of people thank God for the profit they earn from other Samaritans. You know, I would disagree. If God loves us, he has a really piss poor way of showing it. He's very violent, rude, petty, and then he wants to burn almost all of us for all of eternity, not for a little while, not even like for, you know, I could see if it was like, you know, you will burn for as long as you did the thing or whatever, but this burn for all eternity, that's not a very loving God. I'm just saying. I don't want to get the show distracted.
It's they're being incentivized, you know, like if you are like that kind of Christian that could go that way, like maybe you weren't before, but now you see your opportunity, you're going to take it. You will probably take that opportunity like, well, I'm fine with that. If that gets me a promotion, that's cool. If I get a raise, that's cool. That's right. I'll go to an extra prayer, whatever. Yeah, I'll clap. That sounds great. F atheists, whatever. They could also be encouraging more people to come to the dark side.
Yes, they could. I want to say thank you to Liz Allen, Gulf of Tonkin. That's what I was referring to, where an American ship was semi-hurt or something. I don't remember exactly what happened. They're like, that kind of, but by the time it got back to the U.S., the military is like, oh my God, they did this. So we kind of, it really got blown up, I believe. I'd have to go look it up, but it's been a while. I want to mention whenever we were talking, what you're talking about, these things about how not all these Christians believe like this Christian nationalist stuff. That's very true. They're not all like that. They're not. I was at NanoCon. And I got to moderate a panel with the wonderful and very kind April LaJoy. She was fantastic. She is a Christian, and her whole mission is to tell other Christians that, hey, this Christian nationalism is not the way Jesus would want you to walk, not the path, right? That's her whole business. And I get it. I very much appreciate that. Not all Christians out there are full-blown MAGAs or any of that business. But now, whenever it comes time to vote, they're not necessarily going to vote MAGA, but are they going to vote for the one that finally let them have prayer at work? Are they going to vote for the one that, finally did all those things for Christians, finally made this a Christian nation, even though they're not really MAGA? They still vote in a way that hurts us.
Yes.
And that's why if you know me, my mission is to pull Christians away. I'm all about getting as many people away from that faith. I'm not about live and let live. I'm not about it's a nice, gentle faith and people who want to be nice and do it on their own. No. I'm all about removing them and bringing them to the atheism or humanism, because even if they believe at home, that only lasts for a little while. They believe at home until they get impassioned about something, or until they hear a preacher talking about something, or until they teach their kid about something, and then their kid radicalizes and they're out on the street preaching or bombing themselves or doing some idiotic bullshit like voting away women's rights.
Yeah.
Or voting away trans rights. Right now we've got the right-wing Christian nationalists trying to force trans people to detransition as part of Trump's attack on trans people. Can you imagine how I cannot, let me just start with there. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be a person going through that now and facing that situation. And another thing to really mention is that there was a time where these people tried to keep silent for understandable reasons, because society would give them shit and they didn't want that kind of shit. So they tried to either stay silent or hide their ways, whatever. And then there was a time period where society embraced them and they're like, come on out. We're all equal. Yeah. Come on out, everybody. We're all great. And they're like, okay. And they stepped into the light. And now all they did was put a target on themselves. Now everybody knows who they are. They're all out. All the medical records show. They've got Facebook talking about, yes, I had top surgery this week. Right. And all of a sudden, the people like this who get in control and they're hurting these people know about it. They're and I just feel like it was, in a way, it sucked because it tricked them into exposing themselves. They had faith in the United States, and all of a sudden their faith in the United States has been compromised by Christian nationalists, and they're imposing their bullshit on us.
And all those companies that profit. We did the Theocracy Watch on that, how they had this rainbow pride merchandise, and you can go into Target and they have this huge section because they love the gays. Target loves the gays. And now where's Target's gay pride section? What does it look like Target now? But you had no problem profiting off their bodies. Like, that was cool. Right. But now that their bodies need protection, you're like,
yeah, when it was cool. But then, it's really, the sad thing about like Target is how quickly that happened.
Oh God, on a dime, bitch.
Yeah, they turned so fast. CBS, we can talk about how CBS has been undermined, and because they've been pretty much bought out and threatened out by the Trump administration. Yeah. It took a lot of work and money and effort for Donald Trump to do that, to replace people, to do this, to do that. You know what it took for Target to drop trans people and gay people in the rainbow flag? It took like a few Facebook posts from right-wing clutchers going, it didn't take much more than that. Yep. Nothing but social peer pressure.
Yeah, some pearl clutching. Yeah. They realized that the far right wingers, the MAGAs, were going to boycott them. I'm guessing they would have gotten over it. I kind of think that MAGA is not as strict. Like, they might have been mad for a hot minute, but all those people who like destroyed their bud.
Oh, right.
They're probably back to drinking that ish. Come on now. They're drinking it again. They don't care.
where are these people burning their MAGA hats? Why aren't they burning their MAGA hats and setting their shoes on fire because Donald Trump won't release the Epstein files? Where is that happening? I mean, whenever it came to Kaepernick, they were out there burning their jerseys. Whenever it come to Nike doing, what was it, some sort of had a black person in a commercial or something they didn't like, they're burning their tennis shoes. And then the Bud Light thing, they're out there, Kid Rock.
More like Kid Crack.
Yeah, he's out there shooting up Bud Light cans. At least he bought them, and
he's like an adult child.
Yeah, why aren't they doing that to their MAGA stuff? Donald Trump is clearly in the Epstein files. He knows he's in the Epstein files. He's always known he was in the Epstein files. He couldn't not be in the Epstein files, And now it's all trying to come out.
Of going to the island.
Yes. But yes, you heard about that too. He never had the privilege to go to Epstein Island. Even now, whenever we know he's convicted sex trafficker, and not just a sex trafficker, of underage girls. I don't like it that they call them underage women.
Yeah, they do that one. But see, that's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
That's that shit that really it really bothers me.
To soften the offense.
Right. It's just weasel words.
Absolutely. See, Ryan Lopez, and there's so many of them that will absolutely defend them no matter what. They don't care. We've talked about posts here on the channel where they said, I don't care if he essayed my own daughter, my own wife. He's still good for the country. He's still good. And I'm like, really? That's
like, where? I don't understand how we've slipped this far to go from like President Clinton and dude got a blowjob and the country exploded. Like absolutely went cuckoo bananas. And here we are where, I mean, we're like certain this dude is a creep and has done deplorable things just because of like the judgments and stuff against him. And because of his history alone with his wives and other children and the cheating, etc. His bad business and going bankrupt and cheating people out of money. That alone could have done it. Right. But now we've got him just saying things like, I didn't have the privilege, bro. Even if that was a joke. Like, I know how sometimes we're like sarcastic. I didn't have the privilege of talking to Satan today. That's not the time. It is not the time. So I kind of feel like that was one of those, where is it when you slip? Freudian slip?
Yeah.
A Freudian slip, even though it was a lie because we know he's been there. Mm-hmm. That was a rant. But he enrages me. He just enrages me every day.
Right. Rainbow Ash says, Chris, want me to show you where the God of the Bible condones rape and slavery and genocide? No, you don't have to. I believe you. And that's one of the things whenever oftentimes there's this mystique that Christians, there's this misunderstanding. It's fake news, whatever you want to call it, this fake facade that Christians have built up about Christianity for the longest of time, that they're loving and they're peaceful. They really kind of, they hide behind the Sermon on the Mount. As if that makes them good people. And that's the one thing their Bible has to say. And they pretty much ignore everything else. But everything modern Christians do, the hate, the ugliness, the ostracizing, the grape, the genocide, all of this stuff that they do is in the Bible. It's commanded by their God monster to do all of these things. And somewhere 3/4 of the way through the book, some guy comes up and goes, hey, be cool. But the rest of the book is he gets slaughtered.
He's like, no, it's cool.
It's cool. And we'll notice there's no time in the Bible, I don't think, where any situation of this holy, great Father God creature, anything throughout the Bible, the Old Testament, anything, is resolved without violence and heinousness. It's all horrific. Every subject is some way either violent or immoral by our standards. Yeah, I mean, you might find something. There's something in there, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm struggling to find a time in the Bible where God resolves something without bloodshed. Yeah, peacefully.
Where people came up and negotiated, where God made people talk things out. No, it's always go take that shit and kill everyone.
When he did, but actually when he did negotiate, he proved himself to be a liar.
Oh, tell us.
With Abraham, when they were arguing back and forth, because they started at 50 or 40, and then he went down at increments of like 10 until he finally got to 10 righteous people, if there's 10 righteous people. And there were, because there were kids there, there were babies there. I mean, babies didn't do anything wrong. So we know then and there he should have held that promise, but he didn't. So he should have. Even though he did negotiate, he's not very good at it.
You know, that's a good point. I think that was, you know, even at 50 or 20 or any of those numbers that he hit on the way down, 10 is a good one place to stop. All he would have had to do was walk to any nursery, and he would have found those people worthy of that. And yet, you know, that's the whole deal. Do you remember how that goes? Correct me if I'm wrong. And anybody in the chat, here's it goes. God goes down. You know, Abraham's like 20, and God's like 20. Sure, if you can find 20. Abraham said, what about 10? And God's like, sure, if you can find 10 people. And then cut to murder, death, kill. They're running away. I mean, there was no looking for people. There was nothing, no comment about it after that. They just boop.
Like it never happened.
Like it never happened. Like they didn't go look. They didn't go looking for people. They didn't ask around.
And look what God's decision spurred on. God, the issue with what Lot did to his daughters all comes from Yahweh's decision.
Oh my goodness, it certainly does.
He made that happen.
He made that happen.
Guilty party for that.
And that's one of the things. If you believe that story, here's the deal. I believe, I have a belief. Let's go with there's a God. Okay, let's just go with that for the moment. So Lot goes up there, and God, I mean, all those things happen. And God condones the incest between Lot and his two children. How do you know God condones the incest? Well, because they have children. They become pregnant. From one instance with Lot, allegedly, they get pregnant. That's some good scoring. That means, a matter of fact, it tells you earlier in the book, earlier in the book, it tells you earlier in the book, through Abraham and Sarai, you don't conceive without God's okay. They even asked her, God, will you let us have a baby? Nope, not yet. She will someday have a baby. But, you know, if God, it's implied explicitly that God is in control. You don't get pregnant if God don't want you to. So they both got pregnant. Now, did they have women child? Feeble, horrific, useless women child? No. They had men children with penises, or peni. Is it peni?
I think it's peni.
With peni.
The scientific term.
They have peni. There's okay. So they got peni. So they're male babies. That's a blessing by God in their culture. Now, in our culture, well, I don't think that way. I mean, either way, whatever you get, you get. But in their culture, clearly a man child was a blessing by God. So they got pregnant.
True.
They had a man child. And now those men children, do they go on to be bums and just nothing? Or do they go on to become founders of cities and founders of nations? They go on to live wonderful lives and become founders of nations.
Yeah.
That is absolute blessing. You cannot get a better blessing than that from the God of the Old Testament.
He starts his enemy nation. Literally, like God is the one who creates his own enemy nation with freaking Moab. Okay. And then Moab defeats him. So Yahweh is a complete douche canoe to be basically to be the father of his own enemy. And it's not the first time, because allegedly he's the father of Satan too. So dude can't stop creating enemies.
He really can't.
Stop procreating.
Yes. And you know, there's that other thing. I want to thank the Left-Handed Jedi. Says lots super swimmers now on sale.
Sorry, I gotta be honest. I was doing this.
Is that what you thank you for the
I just realized I was doing it.
Is that what those were? The swimmers?
My brain.
Oh my goodness. So all of that, all those things really say that God condoned those things. Now, that's if there is a God of the Old Testament, blah, 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 blah. I personally don't believe that. I believe if there was a Lot, and that story is even remotely true, Lot went up to the mountains, impregnated his two daughters while he was up there. Whenever he came down, people were like, hey, you went up there with your daughters and no other men, and now you're coming back with children. He's like, oh, well, they got me drunk. and they made me have sex with them. That which is more probable, which makes more sense that that's what happened. He went up there with his daughters. They did the nasty.
No daughter.
And then he comes
with her dad.
Right.
No.
Right. And the excuse given in the Bible is because we're stuck here. We're never going to be able to find men. Really? But they had enough wine. Where'd they get all the wine from? Where'd they get enough wine?
That's the one thing you brought?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you just had a knapsack, like one of them sticks with the knapsack, just carrying the flasks or jugs, I should say, of wine.
But you wouldn't you? Of course. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, back in that time period, yes, that probably would have been the first thing that I grabbed. I'm not even going to lie. But hey, let's think about this. Let's take it even further, which I hadn't truly really fluffed out yet. But those two women, and not in my opinion, obviously, are technically almost like ruined. So now are they going to just be married to their dad? Is that just their new life now? In some ways, like no another dude is going to want them. They have children. They've had sex with a man.
That's a good point. Very good point.
They're
just objects anyway.
Life? Yeah,
you're right.
That's what I'm saying. They're just property of their father forevermore.
Yeah, well, from that point, they can be whatever they want. They can be redeemed for whatever that means. I mean, they fulfilled their purpose. They gave children. They bore children.
Excuse me.
That's their only job, really. So, I don't know. Are the people in here still defending their God? What argument? These aren't droids you're looking for? Okay, just checking. We got a lot of people in the chat this morning. Good morning, everyone. Listen, I don't normally do the thing, but let's do the thing. If you're not liking, like the stream, hit the thumbs up button, share, do whatever you do. We appreciate you. Let me check. Let's see what time it is. Ooh, we're doing great. On time. I never got the live stream to go over on Facebook.
David said Chris got a haircut. Sad.
Oh. Good morning, Kip.
I think he just wanted to run his fingies through your hair.
Through my hair?
And you guys were kind of getting like the same, look going.
Yeah. What were we? Yeah. And I was getting so.
Got some.
Yeah, he does. He does. I was getting to the point where I was ready to start putting it in a ponytail. And we would have gotten even further, but it just like right now I get up and I comb it, and I feel confident and I feel a sexy man. I feel good. I feel good about myself. I can go into the Starbucks or I can go stand up in front of a panel and introduce Seth Andrews. I feel good either way. With the other hair, man, it just depended. Whenever I only felt good at a certain time, at a certain blah, 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 blah. And if the wind blew it was very unfortunate. There are only so many old men with great hair. I know.
2 bits.
I know. And I got these curls even now when it's all short. Look at those beautiful curls.
I mean, I don't think you would like your hair if you had no body.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, no, but body's one thing,
You're like, well, I got a little more than body. I got booty. Your hair got booty.
Adrian Belgrave says, I'm just waiting for Chris to go bald. Well, I actually was going bald. And then I started like finasteride or dutasteride and minoxidil. And I started getting hair again. Now I get kind of too much hair.
It's amazing how it works, right?
I don't. Science.
Science,
bitches.
The best thing for men to do if you're in the audience and you're starting to have your hair fall out is to start using like shampoos that will preventative measures are better than trying to regrow it. Stop it from falling out in the first place.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do.
True enough. Let me just check out here. Oh, John Hudson. Yes, represent Samson would have died from my loss. Yeah, John Hudson's got some. Have you seen John Hudson? He's
but now I want to see John Hudson's hair.
Yeah. Geo Sam says hair is overrated. Now we know what kind of hairstyle Geo Sam has. Hive says Team Dutasteride. That's right. Yeah, Dutasteride. Kind of Dutasteride for the back, minoxidil for the front. That's kind of how that works. Just wax my head already. Trip. Good morning, Trip. All right. Let me check our poll here. I'm also, for those of you who are interested, we're streaming on Twitch today. I was going to stream on YouTube, but I screwed it up. Or Facebook, but I screwed it up. So we're streaming on Twitch for those who are interested in it. For those who are interested in it. So today we're doing a little more political talk than normal. I mean, we always talk politics a little bit, but really that's kind of the focus of the show today. We're talking about Herr Trump and what's going on with, the world. So here's the question of the day. The question of the day is, do you think MAGA will abandon Herr Trump over the Epstein files?
I don't know, man.
Let me do this. Can I do
don't
this?
know.
Let's go. Boop. Does that help? Can y'all see that? Yes. So the options are, yep, they'll stick with him because he hurts who they hate. I came up with these all by myself. I want you guys to know, okay? Option number 2, no, this is a bridge too far, even for them. Notice my clever comma placement. This is a bridge too far. Pause. Even for them. Yes. Split. This is going to divide his base. Grammar Nazis, we don't put up with your shit either. But wait. Split. This is going to divide his fan base, or none of all of. We got 6 comments. Let's see what people have to say.
Well done. Well done.
Some will abandon him, according to secular feminists, but he'll have most of his base left. These people crave authority, regardless. They do, don't they? I mean, it's weird. MAGA is morally bankrupt, and they do not care. Yes, 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 Jeffrey P. Yes, they do not care.
That's my worry, is they don't have the ethics and morals that they claim they do.
They're happier that Donald Trump is hurting who they hate, who they want him to hurt, than they are bothered by the notion that he's done what he's done.
They have a common enemy.
Well, let's see. Yep, they'll stick with him because... Did I phrase that wrong? I did phrase it wrong. I did. Yes, I did. I screwed it up. I'm a bad person. Look at me.
Man, why'd you do that? That's
I don't know. I don't sun got mine. I don't know. I was there alone and scared. I didn't have any help.
Peeing and poop in your pants.
Yes. Some of them have already burned their hats. Where's the smoke? Where there's smoke, there's hope. I'm really hoping there needs to be more smoke. It's a reflection on them that there's not more smoke. But who are they going to rally behind if they don't rally behind him? Because nobody on the other side is doing anything. None of his major political, well, he doesn't have any major political rivals in his own party, does he?
I don't know, unless maybe JD Vance is trying to make some moves behind the scenes. Other than that, I don't know. Well, that wouldn't surprise me either. That wouldn't shock me at all. I don't think there's much honesty amongst thieves. So,
that's true. But if you betray the king and the king's people find out, that wouldn't be good. That would be the hard part, getting it to where they didn't find out. Ooh, what was it that I heard, though? I heard something. Yeah, that's right. I heard that JD Vance had a secret meeting with Wall Street Journal just before they dropped the, which was it? One of those things they dropped recently. Was it the birthday thing? I think it was the birthday thing, the birthday card. He met with them like the day before, secretly, before the birthday card. Yeah, right. Ember says, right, Lincoln Project is saying Trump bad, but nobody is offering a serious alternative. Yeah, I mean, I get it that they're not going to go for Democrats. They're not going to go for Bernie. They're not going to go. We know we're talking about the right-wing people. Where are the left-wing? Let me get my camera. Good. The left-wing people, the right-wing people, there's got to be somebody, but there's nobody. There's nobody over there who, I know, right? I messed things. Well, we adjusted the show yesterday, so it's just taking us a little time to get.
And I'm back a little far today. I don't know why I just am.
Well, I actually zoomed in on me a little more today, thinking if
maybe that's why. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, trying to make it more gooder.
I'm just a baby.
She's kind of tiny. I'm ready to put my show on. Oh man, that didn't work. I thought it was going. I would look scary bald, all the divots, scars, bumps, etc. I actually look pretty good bald. I think whenever I shaved my head a long time ago, back in 2013, I shaved my head.
Did you?
Sexy man. Yeah, I don't know. Single. I don't know. I was just doing all kinds of shit. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
I mean, if
Shave
I was a dude, I'd be changing my facial hair, my hair up all the time. I'm just be
You
fancy with
think?
it. I would, yeah,
Yeah.
because I never I mean, I kind of do, but I don't really wear my hair the same exact way twice. I'm
No.
always changing it. I just have this weird thing about repetition that because of being like in a cult, sometimes things that repeat actually annoy me. I like patterns, but there's some patterns that actually frustrate me. Anyway, nobody cares.
Gotcha. Yeah, it just depends on people. Some people look good. I don't think I look bad bald. I can hold that one
Some
down.
people really look good bald. Like
They
probably
do,
even
yeah.
better bald. I don't know why, but just they carry it well.
I might be a sexy man bald. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not bad bald, but where I do kind of lose it is whenever I shave off my mustache. If I shave off my beard and if I keep a mustache and a goatee of any fashion, any kind of anything here, it's okay. But if I completely shave everything off, I'm just rough looking outfit. I don't know why.
I mean, the beard works for you.
Yeah. I'm a beard guy. Yeah, it does. The evil one really likes the beard.
Does she?
She's a fan. She is. You know, I was watching. I got a video going. It's the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a scam and always has been. That one's going right. So we're kind of studying the channel and looking around at things that worked. And so we popped up that video, and I made that video whenever I had some bush out here. I was like, oh, and it is all. Remember when I was growing the beard a while back? Yeah. That's
like
quite a look.
thick.
Yeah, it's fun to play with, but it didn't look very good. Yeah, I guess if you're into beards and if I'd have just kept at it, just like the hair, if I'd have kept at it, but that'd have been quite a sacrifice.
Yeah, the growing out phase is always difficult.
Yeah. Wade says, I want to see Donald Trump bald. Me too. And the way I'd like to see that happen is for him to get thrown in prison and no longer to be able to get his help with his hair, whatever he's getting.
Does he do it himself though?
I very much doubt that.
Honey, I don't care what you pay me. I would not do somebody's hair like that. Nope. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not because you're not going to walk around telling people, oh yeah, Ryan, she did my hair. No, bitch, I did not touch you. That is not my work. I did not do that.
Maybe that's why we don't know. Nobody wants to brag about that, really says he does it himself. I don't know if he does. I would have a hard time believing he does anything. I have a hard time believing he puts on his own makeup.
But it's so bad. I feel like he has to.
That's a good point.
But maybe not though. Maybe that's how he wants it, even though maybe a makeup artist is like, we should blend it. He's no.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Very true. Trip says I trimmed my nipped hairs the other day. Feels much better now. Got a bit carried away with the Phillips trimmer. Oh, did you? Interesting. That's a lot. Yeah. Ember says he clearly does his own makeup. Yeah, that's kind of I have to really rethink that. He either does his own makeup or, like Ryan says, he makes them do it poorly. One or the other.
Oh no.
Or I'm not really sure.
Doing it, whoever's getting paid to do it is intentionally doing it bad.
Maybe that's it. I'm gonna go over here and check our Twitch. Yeah, we got the cheap viewers on. I don't get that. Why they keep posting that stuff?
Nipple hairs?
No, I like nipple hairs. I mean, it just depends on the thing.
I'm tripping.
Nipple
hairs a couple times. I don't know.
He was saying he trimmed his nipple hairs, but he misspelled nipple. But I got what he's talking about. Yeah,
okay.
I got it. So yeah. And he said he got a little too rugged with his trimming device, and it got him.
Oof! So, don't hurt your areola. Don't hurt your areola.
Don't hurt your areola. That's true. So there's nothing going on over in Twitch, but it's there. So maybe something. I don't know. Live producer, you failed. Once again, you failed me, Starscream. Let me just do this one more time and see at least how many posts we have. Do you think MAGA will abandon Trump's split? So far, we've got 33 votes on that one. And split, this is going to divide his base. I don't see enough MAGA hats and MAGA shoes getting burned. I believe they are. I believe they are. There's quite a few people speaking out. Joe Rogan even came out.
Well, yeah. Joe Rogan should do more than just freaking come out, since Joe Rogan is probably partly to blame for why Homie got elected in the first place.
Right. So now he's coming out going, the Epstein's files, release the files or whatever, finally starting to stand up. But that's good, though. That's good. The one thing that's not bad. Yeah, the one thing that Rainbow Ash, yes, cheap viewers is a spam bot. Yeah, I kind of get that. I just does it really work? I just didn't, it's just weird. He probably took credit, Trip says. I don't doubt it. There may be a President Starscream. Good morning, Vic Lit. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to, here in just a minute, we're going to take a little break. So let us know as you go along whether you know what you want. Do you want the pup, or you want a cowboy, or do you want the Pharaoh's Curse? What you want, let me know here in the chat.
Tell me what you want.
Whenever you're ready, here in a minute. Yes, I'll have it locked and loaded, ready to go. So this whole Joe Rogan thing really bothers me, because now all of a sudden, when there's nothing anybody can do about it, and what are they going to do anything about Donald Trump and what's going on? We've been over this before. All right, there's one for the Pharaoh's Curse. We've been through this whole thing before, where I've talked about how Donald Trump is literally attacking the Constitution. He's been told by how many judges that what he's trying to do here or here or here or here is unconstitutional. He's literally going after like the 14th Amendment and all this other stuff. Yeah. Where are the people? Where are all those people who swore to defend the Constitution? Where are they? Are they gathering in a good room somewhere, going to go do something soon, or what? I don't understand. All the people, the sycophants who work with Donald Trump, the right-wing people, all those made that same oath. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually literally changed the oath, though.
It'll only be a matter of time if they have it their way. If McDonald Trump has it his way. Oh, that's Burger King. Yeah. Well, whatever. What's the McDonald's slogan?
I don't remember.
I love it. Oh, I'm loving it. McDonald Trump is loving it.
Yes. Point is, Starscream has to be better than Megatron. You'd almost think, right? That's a good point. So now MAGA fatigue is a thing. It's a thing now. Ugh. I've been fatigued with them for quite some time.
I think we've had this fatigue for several years now.
True enough. Here, Adrian Belgrave, thank you for this comment. It says, Chris, we may not agree on the Lord, but I'm right beside you when it comes to the orange clown and his foolery. See, that's one of the things. There are many good Christians. That's totally subjective. Good Christians, from my perspective, out there who are willing to set aside whatever differences we have and realize that Donald Trump is the biggest threat we all have. Christian nationalism is great. Making the country a Christian nation is great, as long as you believe in that one brand of Christianity.
Right.
But if you're not part of them, if you're a Catholic or anything else, unless it's Catholics. If it's Catholics, then Baptists, you're going to be in trouble if the United States becomes a Catholic Christian nation. Everybody's going to be in trouble. Same thing. It doesn't matter which one gets it.
Yeah. You might be in the privileged group now, but eventually that privileged group will get even more privileged. It'll just keep getting down to where you're just one of us now, and you don't even have the ability to speak up for yourself because you didn't do it for the rest of us.
Right. That's true. And, there's we're seeing so many of that finding out on the other side. It's a little shameful how many of those people over there are people of color, or gay people, or women, or gay women of color who voted for Trump and are now surprised that the leopards eating your face party is actually starting to eat their face.
Yeah, that does make me sad that I don't know what you were thinking.
You really have to want other people to be hurt a lot.
Or just like immigrants who voted for Trump thinking, he's just going to get rid of illegal immigrants.
Yes.
You don't have an issue with the rest of us. Good immigrants.
Right.
Honey.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, he doesn't see you as a person whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, I don't find it like, ha funny. I want you deported. Right.
No, I get that.
But just like, what were you thinking? Why were you not listening? They must have been just listening to propaganda, obviously.
Right. They were warned. We warned them. Lots of people all across this country warned them. We warned them. You know, Donald Trump actually warned them. Donald Trump told us what he would do. He talked about the prison camps, the concentration camps, if you will. He talked about that beforehand. There was a speech where he talked about he was going to forcibly remove the illegal immigrants, and any of them that came back, he was going to kill them. They were going to execute them. He used those words. Yeah, he told us what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And now the notion, though, that they're going after legal immigrants who are here legally, who are going through the normal process. For example, once a month, they got to go down and stamp a piece of paper. I don't know if they got to do, but just to say once a month, but they've been doing that. They're doing that. They're legal, everything. They're perfect. Documented, if you will. Exactly. And then the ICE is waiting for them to show up.
Yep.
And grabs them no matter what. That's not what he promised. That's not what he said he was going to do.
Hunting them down at Home Depots.
Yes, hunting their kids down. Hunting their kids down.
Schools. A father was dropping his child off, and they bust the window out of the car.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's disgusting, really. How many?
No coup.
No coup. It's a shame how many people follow and support him. How many, you know? And these people, why were they going to Home Depot? They were looking for work. These people that they claim don't work. We're looking for work. The people who claim they don't pay taxes, they found them by going to the IRS and getting their taxes. You know, these people are just ridiculous.
Trump has opened the door to, number one, commercialize everything in our government, sell it out to all these big corporations, but also he's included in that is our private information that is being given out to Palantir. So basically a foreign freaking country that does not like us has all our information, plus the fact the IRS is going to hand over, and like you said, they're going to hand over information of hardworking individuals who actually pay into the government and don't get anything back for that privilege. You know what I'm saying? And they're providing money into our economy. And now now all of that's gone. They're not spending here, and they're not making money here, and they're not paying into the system.
That's right.
What they are doing is they're putting them into a private concentration camp where some big business will profit off of our taxpayer money that goes to the government, that is now going to, we're paying these people to take away our freedoms.
I know. And they get up there and brag, you know, there's a lot to it. I'm going to run us. I think I noticed Pharaoh's Curse, some fire and all that stuff. So I want to do the Pharaoh's Curse. When we come back, we'll talk more about this crazy stuff. And then we're going to do the Theocracy Watch. We'll be back in just a minute. Pharaoh's Curse.
Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno. A full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penal plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penal plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
And we are back. Yes. Ricardo Gomez says AI, and then he put, so I think he's complaining because of the AI, you know?
Oh.
And then his next post is "Mi burrito is stop fire." So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he meant I.
Oh, maybe. I see.
Got me on that one. Yes. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Ricardo. I very much appreciate you. Vic is here. Support the damn nation. Custom emoji. Yeah, we're cheap, you know, and become a member of the channel. It's only like $1 a month.
$1?
I know, right? So that's all cool. Let me do over here, and I'm going to hit our button, and we're going to do our Theocracy Watch. Here we go. Let's see what's going on in the world.
Wow.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the DAM Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Move over, Jehovah's Witnesses. Turns out you don't need to knock on doors anymore. Just get a government badge and you can proselytize from your desk. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we track the slow shift in the government and private sectors towards a Jesus-flavored supremacy. A major shakeup to the workplace norms has just been issued by the Office of Special Counsel, or the OSC, that's raising suspicion. As of this month, government employers are permitted to share their religious beliefs at work. MAGA is reinterpreting the Hatch Act, once meant to keep religion and politics out of taxpayer-funded spaces, into something more like a pulpit clause. So what does this mean for those who are on the clock? Well, now employees can chat about their faith with their coworkers, deck out their desks with religious symbols, and even invite colleagues to religious events during business hours, which could create a hostile environment over time. Yet the claim is to create an open space for conversations about faith. But let's be honest, it's not that simple. Workplace hierarchies and cultural dynamics can make this a bit tricky. Christian nationalist groups like Alliance Defending Freedom, Liberty Counsel, and America First Legal have been lobbying for this, and it appears that persistence has paid off. It's sold as freedom for religion, but only if it's the right one. For the rest of us, it looks more like freedom from comfort, safety, and equal footing. The same crusaders demanding religious freedom are the ones policing pronouns, banning LGBTQIA teachers, and turning trans employees into HR targets, while evangelical Christians get a government-sanctioned bullhorn to preach from their desk. And yes, of course, it is connected to cash. Agencies like the Department of Labor and DHS, both of which house Centers for Faith, are likely early adopters of the policy, although at this point, no specific names have been confirmed yet. Meanwhile, Christian nonprofits with a history of pushing religious lawfare into federal systems are already offering training modules under the guise of employee guidance. What starts as encouragement could quickly become expectation, and whistleblowers might find themselves isolated, reassigned, or forced out with ever being officially punished. Apparently, federal perks now include dental vision and the right to convert your coworkers from the comfort of your cubicle. This is textbook Christianity. As this policy rolls out, they'll say it's about balance, about free expression for all. But when one group gets the blessing, the platform, and the legal cover, Everyone else gets quiet discomfort or pink slip. They dress it up as inclusion, but it walks, talks, and legislates like favoritism. So continue to call your legislators and stay curious.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for that. You know, we were talking about it, and here it is.
There it is.
You know,
I mean, they're just increment by increment by increment, just sewing up their privilege, just making sure that it's front and center.
Yep. I mean, and then they're giving all this power to the right wing. I'm going to do this too. It's kind of bugging me. I'm tired of trying to squeeze my butt over. They're teaming up with MAGA, and this is the cruelest of people. These are two of the cruelest groups of people, if you ask me. Teaming up together. And now we've got this in our government. Now, does that mean, are they going to stick up for my rights? Can atheists go down there and preach to Christians?
You're not going to be seen as a team player, right? Like that's like, listen, I would not give a Rudy Tooty Fruit and Fruity, like if you're at your desk and you have a cross and you maybe have on the quietest like Christian music and I couldn't even hear. I would not give a flip. But if it's turned up louder, and that's okay, and then you continuously try to invite me to your church or to your gatherings or to your youth thing, whatever, and my no is never taken as a no, eventually that will turn into a hostile work environment.
Right. And then,
and then you'll be the bad guy.
That's right. Even if she keeps it low, or they keep it low, right? So now that person's keeping it low. But then they meet up with this other person over here and they start talking, and they're both of the faith. And before long, I mean, you're just surrounded. It's and then there's this notion of, you don't have to be anti-God to be a Christian or to be an atheist or a skeptic. We don't, we're not, no, it's just about education, I mean, as far as, going and proselytizing atheism in these places, I just feel like, man, this is not right. How are we gonna go?
I feel, I think I've even said this before. We've talked about it before, but I feel like we're back in Roman times. Like this is literally what happened in Rome. Well, not literally, but practically, what happened in Rome? Like first they were just let into the government. Okay, cool, no problem. And then eventually they began to make those carve outs. So where it was specifically like only Christians were making the laws and they only had the ability to do certain things and serve. I just see it coming. Like it's like it's Rome 2.0.
Yeah. It's just a shame, it's to watch it go down the way it's gone down. It's just Rainbow. I made you a mod over in the channel. Just thought I'd let you know. So Rainbow can do stuff over in the Twitch. We're streaming over to Twitch. Thank you for the Theocracy Watch. We're just going to have to reassess. We're going to have to see what happens. I mean, they have done so much damage. Donald Trump and the right-wing conservative people have put so many of the wrong people, bad people into positions of government. So most of them that don't even deserve to be there at all, period. Like Kash Patel deserves to be the head of the FBI. Really?
Right.
Really?
And we're going to see more corruption. Like, what if you do decide to sue Chris, but they dismiss it because, F you.
Right.
I mean,
what do
we do when we start to see the courts proving that they don't care?
That's right. Well, we also got things that's good to your point right there. They just nominated this guy. He's a Trumper. He's been investigated for sexual assault on women or some business. They just elected him to a lifetime position on an appeals court judge. So he's on an appeals court judge. So now whenever a real judge up there kicks something back and says no, and Donald Trump files for an appeal, who's it going to go to?
In his pocket.
It's like they find the worst people to do. I mean, looking at you, RFK Jr. Oh my goodness.
Didn't he just say, I just heard something where he found a way to cure schizophrenia or something, help with schizophrenia. I didn't read into it yet. I'll get there, but homie just makes these freaking claims with no basis, no scientific basis or scrutiny whatsoever, no evidence.
It kills me. And it kills me how many people follow him, believe
He
him,
won
trust
some
him.
lawsuit. He said he won some lawsuit about hair, bitch, about the radio waves or whatever, like from the cell phones or something that he said like causes cancer.
Really?
He won. And I checked into that, and no, that's not what happened whatsoever. That isn't what happened. I don't have the full verbiage to tell you, but he's lying about the court case he allegedly won.
A conservative lie? I don't believe you.
What?
Say it isn't so.
He has to cover up his frivolous claims? What?
I know. Andy Placeres. Good morning, Andy. Thank you for joining us. Andy, I don't recognize your face. Thank you for joining us. Says, I had dropped earlier, but I am back. I guess you got dropped. We don't turn all of the maggots. We just need enough of them to swing elections back to the same politicians. Oh, I got you. I'm picking up what you're doing. Yeah, I get you.
True. True. If we could just get some of them to realize that Trump is not their guy. He's just not their guy. He is not representing you.
Right.
He's claiming to because he wants you, because he wants to use you.
Yeah. This here, somebody mentioned how they said something in the chat, and I was going to comment on it, but I want to mention here that Donald Trump's presidency will go down in history being known for the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich ever.
Definitely.
Ever. The largest. In this single 6-month span, Donald Trump has transferred more money from the poor to the wealthy than any time ever in history.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Everything that they are doing, the tariffs,
the stock market manipulation alone,
the coins.
Oh the cryptocurrency.
That's what I meant. That's cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin.
The notion, the idea that a president or that a government employee, either way, could get cryptocurrency from anybody. Donald Trump now can get cryptocurrency from anybody. That's just.
And we don't know where it goes. We don't know where it goes, where it comes from. Nope, nothing.
Yep. And we see things like, we do know some of where his money goes. It goes into being constantly litigating. He's suing this place or suing that place. He sued CBS, but then he wins. These bastards give in, Somebody, they replaced the head of Paramount, and he's a Trump sycophant. And now, of course, that's what happened with Colbert, I think. Stephen Colbert.
Got let go. Yep.
Yep. Because of that, they changed it. And then we heard about the 60 Minutes, one of the head producers of 60 Minutes
left,
quitting.
A lot of journalists have. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we took like a list of all the journalists who have had to leave their jobs because they were trying to report truth or were being forced to report, things that weren't factual, and they would be hundreds. I don't even know. I don't know. I can't even speculate, but I feel like it'd be a big number. Yeah.
And then, these aren't the only atrocities going on and that are Trump's either helping or, it's just the reach, the destructive nature of these people and this man is just horrific. Now, of course, we got, you heard what the France or Canada. Canada is going to recognize Gaza as a state or Palestine as a state.
Are they? Okay.
Coming in September. Yeah. Several places. I think France.
I know several.
Yep.
Canada.
Yeah.
France.
Donald Trump came out and said, if Canada does that, that will make it very difficult for us to have an agreement with them.
Good luck, Trump. You will F yourself in the B.
Yeah.
If you think that cutting out Canada is a good idea.
Yeah. I'm so ready for this to be over.
He would do it. He would do it. He would cut off his nose to spite his face. They don't care about us.
Yep.
And I do see that Mexico and Canada are making deals and cutting the United States out of it. Like direct deals. Good for them.
Don't blame them at all. Don't blame them at all. That's good for them. Hell
I mean, I feel bad for us, like Americans, hardworking Americans who are now going to be harmed. I don't like that, but at some point this country needs to feel something to make a change. I don't know.
Yeah, something. It's getting old pretty fast, and he's hurting so many people, even his own base. Do you think that truck drivers out there are going to vote for Donald Trump now after what he did to truck drivers and all the things? And sure, they're back to work now, sort of, but how many people lost everything because of Donald Trump's little with the stock market and all that business?
Yeah, out of business. How many farmers are on their way out now?
Farmers, yes, they're going around, and now they've literally got the American Gestapo going around kicking in doors, dragging people from their homes and putting them in concentration camps.
People and they're already dying.
Oh yeah, Donald Trump's, that's where I was going. Donald Trump's got atrocities happening here. I still consider his first term an atrocity on humanity. 100,000 people plus of United States American citizens died under his watch because of his carelessness. I mean, we got a plague, a pandemic raging through our nation, and he's telling people not to worry about it, telling them not to wear masks. He is dicking with the CDC, the only allegedly trustworthy place people have to go to get proper information. He's dicking with that. I don't know how he's not in prison for life for that. I just don't see how,
I don't understand how after that lesson that we didn't like beef up, like CDC should, not give him more power, but they should be given more like research power, abilities and things of that nature. How can we, if we did need to shut this country down, I'm not saying what could we do differently? How could we be better prepared? I just don't, we don't care. And I'm like one of those weirdos who's always worried about the future and trying to see like a few steps out because of just how I was raised, and I'm trying to predict the freaking apocalypse. And if I owned a business, if I was actually going to own a business, and I'm not calling America a business, I would definitely be plotting out though 10 moves ahead. Okay, if I make this decision, is it actually going to, and none of his decisions are based on the betterment of the country. It's all on the betterment of the rich folk to make that transfer of wealth.
Yep. Or undermining, getting rid of the rules, the protections, all these things. He's just completely undermined our entire nation. Vladimir Putin must be very, very, very proud of Donald Trump. Chris Fairley is in the chat, and he says making homelessness illegal. Yeah, I've talked about this on the show. That's not about helping homeless people. It's not about putting people in rehabilitative care. What it is it's about getting more people for their prison camps. Just getting people for their prison camps, grabbing them up off the street. These people here are just homeless people. Who's going to complain? Who's going to stop them for whenever the ICE rolls up and starts just grabbing homeless people off the street and throwing them in prisons and then being shipped off to other nations?
Yep.
With
American
no due process.
Citizens with no due process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the money, a lot of them are probably veterans.
Right. The money really here, technically, if they wanted to do something like that, the money they spend doing that, they could go and pick these people up and put them all in some sort of rehabilitation and help them, give them homes.
We've proven with Alcatraz, we have proven what we can do in a very short period of time when we put our minds to it. So that's where it really fucks me up, because I know we have the ability, we have the money, we are capable, but we continue to put the money where it shouldn't be, intentionally to harm us and other people, other countries.
Yeah. Here's an interesting little factoid. If you didn't know, my understanding is there were several states who've had natural disasters who Donald Trump has refused to give them emergency funding for, and FEMA has not given them funding for or helped them. And yet at the same time, FEMA, the money that's supposed to go to FEMA, is going to several different states to build prison camps. Hundreds of millions of dollars they're spending on prison camp or concentration camps
That's
when
so
they can't even
disgusting.
afford to help their own country recover from floods in Texas.
If I was a Texan, I would throw
Oh
my
my goodness.
shit at that man.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
because they don't have facilities. I'm just saying, like, I would be taking my bucket and tossing it on that MFer. Because how dare you not send our National Guard, sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
Send our National Guard to help Texans. No, you're sending them to freaking LA to stir shit?
To smack down peaceful protesters.
Right. And they did the same thing with the what was it, Kentucky and Appalachia? I forget. I'm sorry, but there was also a natural disaster several months ago.
Yeah.
Same thing. Not enough money sent there. Not enough help.
Right. Wade O'Donohue says self-sustaining integration communities for the homeless. One of the things that we used to have, it wasn't the best system, but it was a system where they, in a sort of fashion, got help. We used to have a nationwide asylum community. You know, we used to really, and then Reagan came in and kicked all the people out of the mental health asylums, and all of a sudden we got flooded with these. I mean, the conservatives are all about hurting people. It's just at every turn, every freaking turn.
That's what it feels like.
Good morning, Dandy. Thank you for joining us today.
Punitive.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the Christian mindset. It's all about punishment, harsh punishment.
Yeah.
Control.
And that's one of the things I was talking about before, is that they seem to lean on these narrow views, these tiny little windows of pages in the Bible where Jesus talked or did something good. Very brief times. Again, I don't think anytime Jesus, all right, let me ask you, no. We talked about every time in the Bible where God resolves a problem, it's always done with violence or hate or hurt or something, right? A plague. It's never, hey, sit down and do this thing. I did have an example just now come to mind.
Okay.
The woman who took another woman's baby, and they were trying to determine.
Yeah, Wise King Solomon. That's such a good story. Wise King Solomon. You guys. Oh, wait, can I show you my I have to show you that picture from my book of Bible stories. It might take me a second to find, but I just remember looking at that photo as a kid and just thinking, I don't even know what I thought. I just thought it was so freaking creepy that a dude is holding up a baby ready to split it in half.
Right. Well, see, even that is not a good example, because in that example, he's willing to use violence to resolve the situation. He threatens to use violence. Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
Wow.
Really, oh, it's hard to. It's.
Let me make you big
being a
on the
little
screen,
cunt,
okay? Here we go. Now you're Biggie on the screen.
Yeah, but it's not focusing for some reason.
Put your own in.
Hold on. I know why it's not focusing, I think. No, I don't know why it's not focusing.
Okay.
But anyway, you can see a dude holding the baby and he's got his sword up and he's ready to swing. There you go. It's kind of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we grew up as a child, thinking that was a wise decision.
Yeah. But even then, violence is a solution to the problem. Almost, if you can think of anybody, Christian in there, who can think of a problem resolved in a non-violent fashion, let me know. I'd like to study it and see, because they're all violent, ugly, everything. There's times where it's as little as complaining. We've got examples where Moses was leading the people through the desert and the people complained about the manna. So God went down there, reasoned with them, let them understand that was the best he could do. They understood that. And then everybody went on peacefully. No, that's not what happened. God sent snakes. God sent poisonous, venomous snakes to attack these people in the night because they bitched about the manna. You know?
How dare you complain about my cooking?
How dare you? There's another instance. There's another instance.
I was so offended.
Yeah, no, that's like the
snowflake. God is such a snowflake because they didn't like his snowflakes.
That's true.
Because it looks like snowflakes, allegedly. But that's a good point that Dan D made that I kind of forgot to mention, is that with FEMA, because it's, from the government, they've just made this stipulation that if you talk about Israel, like if you are anti-Zionist, you don't get aid.
Why would that be?
So it's not even for everybody.
Right. That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Again, why would they do that? That's the weirdest thing, that they're going to base whether or not you get emergency help on your political affiliations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it leads us back to the United States and Israel being the only two nations that voted against food and water being considered a human right. I look over here today. One of the things I was thinking about was, during the show, we got Theocracy Watch. We goof around for the first hour. But I was thinking about bringing on some news and talking about some news issues that are kind of happening, right now on the show. And one of the things I want to point out here is, according to Al Jazeera. Now, if you're an old white person, you're probably going, Al Jazeera? It's a news outfit. They're all right.
I actually like Al Jazeera.
Yeah, they're good. Here's the headline over at Al Jazeera right now. Young man starves to death in besieged Gaza as Israeli attacks kill dozens. Where are those attacks killing dozens? They're killing dozens of people who are waiting in food lines.
Yeah.
Or going to get emergency aid. Now, they want to blame Hamas, but you don't hear anything about Hamas. Hamas has had their ass kicked. I don't think there's much of a...
so, but...
Well, I don't know.
I don't believe that Hamas... I mean, that you can have your opinion. I don't believe they had their ass kissed. Ass kicked? Mm-hmm. Ass kissed. Not what I meant to say. But regardless, they're still shooting at people.
Who's that? Which part?
I just meant Israel shooting at people in the line.
Oh, right. That's true. That is true. My deal, though, is just that, the whole notion, I get that part of the thing, at least in my opinion, or my notions, is that the deal with Hamas isn't as clear cut as things are here because of the religious things and the fucking vengeance. All the years of being oppressed by Israel. So, yeah, sure, they got Hamas in my mind, right? But they're just set down their weapons and they're over there. They can pop up at any time because they're integrated in the people who are there in Palestine. Got it. Give them more reasons to kill you.
I don't know that. I don't know. I can't comment whether they're integrated into the population or anything like that. I mean, I know that right now there is a lot of gangs because Israel is paying people and. They're paying people to steal the aid, so that way not everybody can get the aid. So my frustration is that they're trying to blame Hamas when it's actually the gangs that Israel. I mean, it's just Israel all the time. Israel has been the one who has given Hamas the ability to become the organization it's all. They've been the one to foment any kind of other, against any other kind of group forming that could be more peaceful. Israel has continuously killed people when they have tried peaceful protests for years. This is not just like a sudden, change. They've always been violent, even against the peaceful people. I think they murdered, hundreds near Egypt, I thought, when they marched to do like a peaceful protest. So like when people were like, oh, well, Hamas should be peaceful. I mean, they have tried. I mean, like what the F do you want from people? Like they can only do so much trapped behind a wall. Right. They only have so many friends. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of unfair. Like they only have so many friends in this world. People have ignored them for years. And now here they are dying because we ignored it. But now we want to be mad at those who, I don't know, did the only thing they knew what to do after the point of trying to be peaceful for years. I'm just saying. That was a rant.
No, I get you. Rant away, girl. I rant all the time. I want to mention Kip Davis. Hi, Dr. Kip. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate your time. He says, I'm convinced that those are magic cosmic snakes.
Like the seraphim? The seraphim? Is that what you mean?
Maybe. I'm talking about the snakes that come after the people.
I was just asking if that's what he meant, if he was calling them seraph, if that's what he meant, or if there's something
magic
else.
Cosmic snakes. And if you wouldn't mind, Dr. Kip, clarify for us.
Tell me about your magic snake.
Yes.
I mean, the magic snakes.
Pixar didn't happen. But that leads us to another thing. Remember, we were talking about examples of violence being used by God to solve problems, and that's one of them. We talked about the King Solomon using the sword. We've talked about the people wandering in the desert. There's another example of Moses even, and the people who were traveling with Moses in the desert. And at some point in this story, these people start going, well, wait a second, why does Moses get to be the chosen one? Why does he get to speak to God? Why can't we be the ones speaking to God? And God heard this. And God said, you know what, guys, you're right. What we should do is we should come together, have a little conversation. And this is actually, once you understand why I chose Moses, you will see he's actually the best choice, because God knows how to sway their hearts. And he could have explained what it took, why he chose Moses, but he didn't. He didn't do that. That's not. He said, Moses, separate yourself from these people. And then the ground opened up and swallowed them in this horrific, kind of thing. That's what happened. And then some other people were like, damn, Moses, did you see that? That's fucked up. And God is like, Moses, separate yourself from these people. You know? And Moses starts burning incense and doing all he can to save those other people, because God's fixing to go after them. You know, I mean, this is God. There's no peaceful, loving God. There's no mercy.
Rationalization, I guess I meant to say.
Yeah, there's no easy resolutions. There's no rational resolutions to any kind of problems. If the Jewish people just stayed brown, they would have felt more similar to the Palestinians. I think that's a complicated thing there. I feel I got to say, I know what he means, and you don't necessarily have to mean that in a racist way either.
I think that I mean, my opinion is that colonial desires, what they did is they used that as a means to like build like that wedge between people, kind of like how colorism built a wedge between Black people and people of color here with like the paper bag tests and things of like, I feel like that similar ideology was used there. And there was a lot of, and I can't speak too much, but I know that there was Jewish people who didn't like the Mizrahi Jews. They didn't like the darker brown Jews. They didn't like the Yemeni Jews. And unfortunately, that has spurred a lot of atrocities, people being kicked out of their own country, babies being bought and sold and adopted out to whiter Israeli there's a huge history there. If you actually are curious, I wish I knew more, but there are documentaries all about that stuff and how, unfortunately, you know, Jewish people were against Jewish people.
Right. You know, it's one of those things, and I've been saying it, we need to find a word that encompasses a certain mindset of person. And every culture has that mindset of person. You look back through history, all these people who do these horrific things, they're all of a certain mindset. It varies, you know, it's a shade of color. It's not a set light frequency. It's a shade of color of personality. But I mean, we look back through history and it's the people, why would they care if they're brown? Why would they care if they're not the same color? What does that matter? Is that the ones who think everybody's equal and everybody should get along that has that kind of problem? No. It's the exclusionists, those sorts of things. Misinterpretations is here. Good morning, Misinterpretations. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well, there is a smell of superiority there because of the Bible. It tells people that they're special and they're chosen, and that's everybody. That's not just one particular group. They all walk away from reading that book going, I'm chosen, whether it's their prophet or their son of God or their God. They all walk away that they've got the right interpretation and they're special.
Very true. Very true. And that's the deal.
You probably think this Bible's about you.
Yeah, you know, that's true. So many times throughout the Bible, though, God clearly he does have his chosen people. That's true.
He chose Moses and Abraham and Lot.
Right.
Sorry.
And here's the deal, though. No, here's the deal. Those are very specific. That's a very specific group of people. And if you read throughout the Bible, he talks about everybody else that are not of those people.
And he don't like them too much.
He don't like them. They're all bad. So why do you all of a sudden, not you, but those Christians out there think they're actually included in the ones that he's talking about that he wants? That are part of his people. Now, the only reason why they even extend that outside of the Jewish community is because of Paul. Paul's the one who made it to where everybody could come in. Yeah, he done did it. It was Paul. He let everybody in. You know, I noticed somebody in the chat, Bomb Poppy, was actually we did Pharaoh's curse earlier. I don't know if I could get away with it twice, misinterpretations. However, I could give you some goat. Have you had any goat lately? And I did notice people were asking for Wild Bill. So what I'll ask is, if you want Wild Bill, let me know, do you want Wild Bill with the dog or Wild Bill without the dog? Just Wild Bill will be Wild Bill. Wild Bill and Ollie together in the chat will be Wild Bill number 2. So right now we're just going to take a break. And what we're going to do is we're going to do goats. And when we come back, we'll continue on with the conversations. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, Ambushed Apostate. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Goats.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall snipe thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that hundred snow, light a candle or you're going to hell.
Oh, hi. I'm Ryan. I'm your host today. Chris will be back. He's taking a number 2. Don't you worry. He's still here. He hasn't been raptured. Oh, there he is.
I have returned. Well, you know, during the break, we're like, things are so just ridiculous. Take me now. Take me, sweet Jesus.
You should have saw my face. I was like reading. I'm like,
oh, boy.
And all of a sudden my face is in my face. I was like,
Ambushed Apostate thought I'd been raptured. I understand why you would think that. I'm more of a Christian than the Christians are. Jesus Returned said something interesting. Where did it go? Was it over here? Jesus Returned. We were laughing about it. I mean, it burned. It burned. We are DNA. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Cool name. Secular societies have tamed their imaginary God and rule the God. And the God believers are angry about losing their power in society. Me and Ryan have been talking about the reason why this is kind of getting so bad here in the United States is because it's really just the last gasp of Christianity in our society. And that's just wishful thinking, though. So good morning, though. Thank you for joining us. God loves his barbecue, but he likes it overcooked. You know, Andy, I actually did a series of videos. That's my whole deal. My notion is that God, I did a video, top 10 reasons why God is a pit demon. He loves the smell of burning flesh. Goodness gracious.
like hot dogs.
Yeah.
that is exactly what one of our former governing body members from the Jehovah's Witnesses said. He said that if you've never smelled burning flesh, it's like hot dogs on a grill.
Okay. That's Are these pork hot dogs? I'm just kind of curious what's going on there.
I think he was like reminiscing about war and whatnot, but
he had some sort of hot dog fetish.
He's trying to describe like Armageddon and what it will be like to people. Like, thank you for giving children the imagery of watching their parents burn and split open like a hot dog on a grill. Nasty.
Right. Well, where does that even get fun?
I don't know.
And who does it get fun for?
I don't know.
This
I don't think
religion
it's
is just
fun
a
for
really
anybody.
weird thing. Viclit is here. Viclit has got something they've got D&D going on tonight. If you like role-playing games,
Ooh.
join them at Go Live in the D&D group. There's a D&D group. Go do that group. Or is that on the damn Discord channel, or is that some other channel you've got going on? Which is, I don't care. I'm just curious. Because we actually have a damn Discord YouTube channel. Yeah. And sometimes when they go live in the Discord, they stream it live on that channel.
Oh,
Yeah,
fancy.
cool. Golden Cat says Trump has destroyed the past 25 years of hard work with India. Oh, and so many other states, Canada, all these other countries, so many years and years of good. Like I said before, Golden Cat, thank you for joining us, by the way. I don't recognize the name. Welcome to the damnation. Yeah. Donald Trump is destroying America's relationship with the country. They're trying to create a working poor class here. So much so, I mean, we're talking not like a working poor class like you think. We're talking about a working poor class to where this working poor can actually replace the brown people that they're pulling out and sending to prisons and camps. That's what they're trying to do. And they're even talking
system.
Yeah, and we've even talked about this before too. Is that they're because of the labor shortage, they're even starting to look at kids.
Yeah,
putting kids to work.
And Fox is like chomping at the bit.
Really. Fox really is. Yeah, they are. They're pathetic. Viclet says it's on her channel, but tomorrow we'll be live on. Oh yeah, tomorrow they do the Discord chat. It's a live thing. Tomorrow they'll do that tomorrow as well. Let me see here. Why is there incredibly old world stone architecture when they were in wooden shacks and on horseback with no power tools?
Huh? What is he talking
Why
about?
is there incredible old world stone architecture when they were in wooden shacks and on horseback with no power tools?
What do you think? God did it?
This is that's a complicated answer to that.
Why didn't God create a computer? I'm just saying. He should have created electricity and a computer, and that's how he could have gave us the word instead of a book. I'm just saying.
He could have done it in the mathematics. In the maths, he could have put it in maths.
That would have even been like smarter.
Even in the simple maths, you'd have to be in the simple maths. That way, everybody would be able to understand the word of God. It would be that simple and universal. You would think that if God was, I'm just saying. Jesus returned. Are you a conspiracy theorist? Yeah, I kind of get where you're going with that, but I mean, that makes sense. That like in city towns, just like we have in cities, we have right now, we have massive, huge skyscrapers. Just outside the town, we also have trailer parks. So I don't see where you're getting. I don't see your point that just because in the old world they had big stone architecture, what, every poor person was supposed to live in some huge, perfectly chiseled. No, that's just ridiculous. Use your reason, Leonidas.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how that was even any kind of argument.
Yeah, where they were going with that.
I didn't
forgive me if I'm wrong.
Going.
That's all I could extrapolate from that. You were trying to imply.
Assuming, but I'm assuming, so it could be an ass.
That's true. Yeah, they were implying. They were implying that these things happen. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. AI Jesus is far off. Wade O'Donohue, AI Jesus is far off. That's not necessarily true. And I say that because there was a pastor, what was it, like October of last year? We talked about on the show, November, something like that. It was late last year, early this year. We talked about this pastor who's created his own prayer app. That you could sit down. It's a pastor in an app, and you'd sit down and it'd help you pray. And you could pray with this app. It was very expensive too.
I've seen a lot of
$25 a month.
Jesus apps, Christian apps come across my feed. I don't like it.
Yeah. Did they build them when the populations of the cities in the 1800s was so low? See, I think maybe you need to familiarize yourself with history. Yeah, I think a lot of those were done before 1800s. A lot of the great works you're talking about, and even during the great work, even during the great during the 1800s when the populations were low, you still had big city centers. You still had London. You still had huge places with innovation and growth. So this notion that what we need to get, did somebody else give us a super chat while we were at break earlier and we didn't see
Dan
it?
D.
Did Dan D? Oh no.
Dandy. You're so dandy.
Let me go here to the fan funding. Dan D, thank you for the super chat, the $10 super chat, helping you replenish your funds after you're traveling to NanoCon. Oh, thank you so much. It was a wonderful experience, but it was stupid expensive. Misinterpretations became a channel supporter. Welcome to the channel supporter. See, we're cheap. We are stupid cheap around here. And you get the cool emoji icons. I think were they voting for Ollie? I think I'm almost certain they voted for Wild Bill and Ollie earlier. They would probably never vote for just Wild Bill. So I'm going to do that here in a minute. So it was Dandy. Thank you for replenishing. He says, helping you replenish your funds. Thank you for that. It was stupid expensive. The Kentucky one, I had to pay for a lot of things I thought I misunderstood and didn't think I was going to have to pay for. So that was that. And then the Tennessee one, the NanoCon, I expected it, but it was still expensive, So we're not going to be able to make FFRF in October. Best I'm going to be able to do is maybe throw down a little bit for a sponsorship. So unless something breaks loose, you know what I mean?
That would be amazing.
It would. Let's see here. All right, Ember says, the zombie invasion in Matthew, one of my favorite Bible stories. I enjoy that one too. And I like the fact that I at least find it interesting how I saw that bomb, Poppy. I saw you with the vote. I find it interesting that the zombie apocalypse, I mean, all across the city, the dead rose from their graves and walked about.
Not a mention.
Nobody wrote that shit down. Nobody.
All the historians must not have heard about it. Sure, right?
Nobody. What were the world's fairs? Jesus returns. It's an interesting question. How old are you? I'm pegging you at like somewhere between 11 and 14.
Yeah, I'm not.
Am I right?
Sure. Or are they a bot? Are they
human? I don't know.
Let me see.
I don't know if it's a bot or not.
They're June 2025. So they haven't had this
account very long.
For very long. So I don't know. Maybe.
Pretty low there. Well, that's a great way to know if it's a bot or not, because I asked it a direct question.
Right. Will it directly answer?
Yeah. You should know if it directly answer or not. We'll just find out here in just a second. Left hand. All right. So there's that. I'm just checking on some things. So I did get the vote. We are going to see the Wild Bill number 2 here in just a minute. Jesus returned, said hello.
Hi, Jesus returned.
Hi,
are
Jesus.
you really Jesus? Oh, Jesus.
Forget all your programming. Yes. Was it Jesus returned? Jesus. Yes. And so were the resurrected saints.
You're not really Jesus? Well, I feel a little disappointed.
I still want to know how old you are. If you're like, I get the really serious impression you're kind of a youngin', not very experienced in the world.
Are you 25, Jesus?
I don't think so. All right. You know what? I'm going to let Jesus return. And, if you're a believer, just imagine how Jesus would feel if he walked in and you had his name. You're like wearing his name and shit. Like, you are in worthy. Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do what we're going to do. We've got lots super swimmers now on sale. Thank you, Left-Handed Jedi, for the $2 super chat there. Misinterpretations became a channel supporter. Thank you for becoming a channel supporter. And Dan D gave us $10 in super chat and said, helping you replenish your funds, much appreciated after you're traveling to NanoCon. Thank you very much for that. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to run Wild Bill 2 for those of you who are interested. That's Wild Bill with the pup. I see you, people out there who voted for it. So we're going to do that. Ryan, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day. Bye.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. Finally, I'm Wild Bill Wigglestick, and this is my trusty sidekick, Willie the Kid. And we'll be your handsome hosts, your gilded guide, your cowboys, concierges to Shakespeare. Oh, how cute. Wait, is that at 2, Ollie? Run along, little doggy. Bill, where the hell have you been? Well, you know, I've been roaming the earth, going back and forth upon it, to and fro and whatnot. Ah, I like to travel too. Wait a second. Yep, back and forth upon earth, doing unto others before they do unto me. Bill, are you quoting the Bible? Trying to quote the Bible? Indeed I am. Despite my appearance, I am a man of culture and know many things, not just Shakespeare. Really? So you have a Shakespeare monologue related to atheism or skepticism? Indeed I do. Bear witness. Oh, this is going to be good. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the product of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence. And all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of whore master man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Wow, that really is spot on about what we cover here on the channel, about how, people... So here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, this non-believer, ignores the teachings of his learned father and ends up getting 4 people killed. Bill, that's not... Okay. Carry on. Shakespeare was a heathenistic non-believer bound for the fiery pits of hell, just like yourselves. I don't think. And in order to throw the murderous church of the time off his heathen trail, he writes the skeptic as a sneaking, lying, adulterated father and brother, hating and betraying villain who ends up getting his comeuppance in the end. Bill, oh, come on, man. You're always blah, blah, Bible stuff, blah, blah, boring. You got to spice things up. Bill, tacos are spicy. Everybody loves tacos. Bill, tacos and boobies. Okay, you're not wrong there either. Tasty and delicious culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid the storm of familial discontent. Blow winds and clap your cheeks by clicking that subscribe button and hitting that. Wait a second. Don't you mean crack your cheeks? Nope. Bill. Sin safely, my friends. Take care.
Peace.
You guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Sin safely, my friends. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace.